Hi, my name is Corey Johnson with DCS. In this video, we're going to be walking through the Autobend move. And the example we have here is a floor pan. Now, as you can see, we have a datum A point in each corner of this floor pan assembly. We got a 1, 2, 3, and 4 over here that locate to a fixture just underneath. And you can see we got 4 net pads that it needs to go to, as well as our datum B and datum C hole here in the center. In this example, I already have my objects and targets created here, and then the points that correspond to the fixture up here in the fixture. So to get started, we have this floor pan that we are looking at from underneath. And you can see that we have a 1, 2, and 3. But we have a 4th datum that we want to use in the constraint for the assembly. So we're going to use the Autobend Move feature. And by doing so, we are going to take the primary plane from what you see on the screen now of that triangle, and we are going to bend to that 4th point, which will make the primary plane look like this, which is the entirety of the part, which represents the locating features to the fixture. So as an overview for this, we're going to create an Autobend move. And we're going to go over what we're looking at here. So the first 6 points are going to be like any 6 or step plane move where we have 3 primary, 2 secondary, and 1 tertiary, also known as a 3-2-1 move. And this move operation, Autobend, will allow us to pick a 4th primary plane point and bend to that point. In this case, it's going to be our A4 point. So when we go to do the move operation, this is what it's going to look like. Our first 3 points that we select are going to be a 1, 2, and 3, followed by our secondary and tertiary controls. We're then also going to pick our target points, which are the corresponding points that are on the fixture in the same order. And then we're going to add our 4th primary plane point, which is our bend point, this A4, here. Now, the cool feature about this Autobend move is that it is able to auto-calculate the proper bend line for the move. And what I mean by that, as you can see over here in pink, the A2 and A3 will be the bend line that is used to bend to A4. You just focus on A2 and A3 here for a second. And I backtrack to here. You can see that the bend line would be this line right here, and you can see A2 and A3, bending to A4. So we're going to snap this move together. So we want to go to our move icon here, select moves, and you just want to add it to the proper assembly level. And then you want to hit add and come on down here to the Autobend option here, just below user DLL. And once you have that selected, you can hit add. And we're just going to give it the name Floor Panel Autobend. And we're going to pick right down the line for our object points. In this case, it's the floor panel. So we're going to select A1, A2, and A3. Then our datum B and C hole, which controls secondary, and the datum B 4-way is also tertiary. So we're going to select that for our 6th point. you can see it automatically snaps over now for target points. So we're going to now go up here to the fixture, and you can see my floor panel points are there on the fixture, and we're just going to select the same points in the same order. A1, A2, A3, datum B, datum C, datum B. And now it toggles down here to the bend line points. We're going to want to now add that fourth bend point, which is our A4 here. And we're back in our objects, so we want to make sure we do this under the floor panel, the object, the move part. So we're going to select A4. And then we're going to want to click in this target box and then select the target point, which is on the fixture, which is our A4 here. And you can notice that the line point 1 and 2, which is the 2 points that define the line, are A, 2, and 3. And if I bring this back up, you can see that's exactly what we wanted to get. We got our primary, secondary, and tertiary bend point, and the Autobend Move auto calculates our bend points, which is A, 2, and 3. Now we're going to have to do one more thing to this move operation, and it involves going over to the Directions tab. And what we're going to have to tell this move operation is the secondary and tertiary control directions. Our primary plane directions will be correct as they are associative direction and they are in the correct vector, but the Autobend is not able to calculate what the secondary and tertiary directions are, so we have to enter those in manually. So in our direction index, this would be directions number 4, 5, and 6. And if I go back here, we're talking about here directions 4, 5, and 6, which is our 4-way and 2-way. So we're going to go to Directions tab, and we are going to change directions 4, 5, and 6 to type in. And in this case, our secondary control for the floor plan is Y, and tertiary is X. So for directions 4 and 5, we're going to enter a value of 1 in the J value, leaving the others 0. And for the tertiary direction, which is X, we're going to enter a 1 up here in the I value, leaving the others 0. So I'm going to go, I have all my points selected. I'm going to go over here to the Directions tab. And I'm going to hit the drop down to direction 4. And I'm going to change the direction type to type in. And I'm going to change that J value to 1, leaving the other 0. I'm going to do the same for direction 5. Change it to type in. J value 1, the rest 0. And then direction 6, which is tertiary. Again, hitting the type in. And this is X, so I'm going to leave that, make that I value 1, leaving the other 2 0. So now I have the correct directions for the constraints applied, the correct points, the correct bend point, and I should be okay to okay this out. And okay this out. And you can see the move operation here. Now I know my primary plane points are good. I'm just going to zoom in here to the fixture pins, and you can see direction 4 is going here cross car, which is Y. That looks good. And so is my 2-way back here. So my directions for secondary look good. as well as my tertiary, which is direction 6 here, also at that 4-way going in X. So everything looks good here. And to validate that, I'm going to go ahead and update my model and nominal build and see this floor pan assembly move to the fixture. And if I deviate, I can see the move operation is working correctly. And that's all there is to it, doing an auto bend and bending to a 4th point. I hope this helps, and thanks for watching.